that's not gonna smell good.
Baseball
Golly, I saw that. Peyton, 5'3", I think it's all. Peyton was out there for us. Good job, Peyton.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on
It's about time that the
BamaCentral.com.
baseball beat became something envious to do, not the third college kid kind of. Hey, they are. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. I drove all the way to work on a Saturday for you. This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You guys are listening to us on the BamaCentral Facebook page, on BamaCentral's YouTube page. You're listening to us, watching us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. We're live in the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios. Why are we here on a Saturday? Because it must be tournament season. It must be tournament season. And the Crimson Tide sort of played yesterday. The Crimson Tide were in uniform yesterday. The Crimson Tide defeated the Robert Morris Colonials yesterday, 90-81. A lot fewer points, a lot fewer margin than the 17.5-point spread that I predicted. I knew that 22 was too high. I knew 22 was too much, but I felt like Alabama was still going to have a pretty good day and get you a double-digit comfortable win. We're here in the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios to talk about Alabama's victory over the Robert Morris Colonials. We're here to talk about the St. Mary's Gales and decide what's going on in the tournament. Mason Woods, you follow him at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine, is here with us. He drove to work on a Saturday for you. Mason Woods, was this the worst first round of an NCAA tournament that you have ever seen in your life?
I saw that so much. And shut up, people. Good God. You watched 48 hours of basketball. Shut up. It's so dumb. It's insane. Like, oh, didn't get a 16 upsetting a 1 this year. Dumb. Of course you did it. That's a 16 seeded team. To be angry that, we didn't get our upsets. And you damn people can't be satisfied. Oh my, that made me so mad yesterday. Like, good God. The entitlement of you fans. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Only 3 double-digit victories. Drake, McNeese.
Darn, more good teams are in the tournament.
And New Mexico. You want to know why I'm in last place of our bracket challenge? Because I had a lot more than 3 upsets in our...
I picked more upsets than happened.
And the upset, I did pick McNeese. I switched back right before the tournament started.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I flip-flopped on that one.
And I kept hearing people say, Drake. I'm like, no, Missouri beat the brakes off Alabama. They're not getting upset. And no, they were. So of these 3 upsets, I flip-flopped on one, I stonewalled the other, and I never even registered New Mexico over Marquette on my sheet.
Yeah, that one I didn't anticipate either. I did not see that one coming. I rode with the Golden Eagles, and it was incorrect for it. Chuck Smart let me down.
I'm happy VCU is gone, but yeah, tournament, good, bad, ugly, first 2 rounds.
I really enjoyed myself watching every game that I consumed. It's just so insane for people to be upset that, oh, boo-hoo, we have 4 good teams still in the tournament. Just take a step back, people. Look at yourselves. You look ridiculous. Oh, God, no, that made me so mad yesterday. I saw that tweet, and it was the exact same tweet from every game. This worst March Madness in history? Oh, you people.
So I'm going to tweet that here in a minute just to upset you.
I'm going to fight you.
Okay, perfect. Here goes the fight. Was this the worst first round of March Madness ever? All right, it's out there. You can come find me. There you go. Perfect.
Are you stupid?
Yes, I am.
Are you not entertained?
I was entertained. I was sort of entertained yesterday by Alabama. I was more so disgusted by Alabama. Let's just say that this team has left me more times this year feeling disgusted than feeling excited, hopeful, energized. I want to talk some bleep to some, like the last. did feel like I wanted to talk a lot of mess after that Auburn win. I wanted it to get out there and to everybody. But mostly this, I mean, even the Creighton win in December, like, okay, Creighton did what? Creighton had a mediocre year and obviously had a good tournament win. And hopefully the Creighton Blue Jays can get it done today as Creighton and Auburn tip off at 6:10 tonight. Yeah, that's going to be some high-level basketball. Ryan Kalkbrenner against Janai Broom. I am excited about that. 6:10. Right here for dinner time. Get your pizza, get your whatever you're having, your wings, and sit down for Auburn Creighton. Okay, it was an entertaining tournament. It was an entertaining first two rounds. Okay, here we go.
You gone Oklahoma in this game last night. Better than I did.
Above or below your expectations for the SEC? 8-6. Is that right? Is that what I had? 8-6. You ended up losing. A lot of the bottom tier. 8-6. Every SEC team that had a losing record in the league lost, except for Arkansas. Arkansas advanced. Every SEC team that had a winning record in the league advanced, except for Missouri. So basically, if you won in the league, then you're in the second round. Save for 1-1. Arkansas and Missouri, which are basically the exact same team. Arkansas's record was 8-10. Missouri's was 10-8. So like those two teams swap. Every team with a winning record advanced to the second round. Every team with a losing record, you guys are going home.
I think maybe this is maybe this is something we look at when we go back to the drawing board on Selection Sunday next year.
Pretty nice little pattern. Pretty hard line.
We sat here and talked about it all year. Obviously, the SEC was the best conference in basketball, and the teams that were in the SEC were playing the best competition of anyone in college basketball. But I don't think it's crazy to say that the teams that should have gotten in the tournament were the teams that actually won in that conference. So, maybe we just draw that hard line where SEC teams with a winning record in conference play, you can get in the tournament next year. Or unless, we have whatever and somebody goes off, wins the tournament, sure. But I don't think that would be outrageous.
I'm cool with that as well.
That would probably have allowed for West Virginia to have gotten in the tournament.
West Virginia over Texas, yes. I mean, if you're a program considering firing your coach, Rodney Terry, we're considering firing you unless you get into the tournament and win 5 games and blah 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 blah, whatever the case may be. If you're there with your coach, like, hey buddy, we just don't know. You're gonna have to pull one of these miracle runs out of your rear end. If you're there, just go ahead and fire him. Don't put him in the tournament.
Come back for me if you tell, hey man, we're gonna fire you unless you win. He's still the same coach as he was when you told him you were gonna fire him. What is a magical run and march going to change when you go into November next year with the same coach, with the same philosophy, with the same players? How do you look yourself in the mirror when you read reports of Texas is looking to fire Rodney Terry if they can hire a home run coach, and then he doesn't get the call like, oh, they didn't fire me, like. I guess John Calipari didn't want to come. I guess Nate Oates didn't want to jump ship. I guess whoever the case may be, like, name your home run coach. And so you're like, well, I guess I'm here in another year. The paycheck, it makes it like A-okay. Sure. But there's got to be some sort of there's got to be a little mental, emotional hurdle to get over. I know this paycheck is really, really nice, and obviously I have personal pride. I do, and I want to win. But you walk into the office every day like, you guys don't want me here. Man, that's crazy. College basketball coaches have egos. I'm sure that dealing with being in a facility where you are obviously not their 1A choice. Maybe you're like 2C on the list. Here we go. I already hooked our fishing adventure. Already hooked someone, Wyatt Fulton, who I love. Wyatt Fulton, you listen to him. T-Town Sports Daily, 11 to 12 on Tide 100.9 right here locally in Tuscaloosa. Wyatt Fulton quote tweeted me, chalky first round equals cinema the rest of the tournament. Thank you, Wyatt, for having some perspective here. He's right. He's definitely right. But I'm just fishing right here. I do not give a. I don't care whatsoever. I'm so tired of reading that yesterday. It was just like, you people, you can't be happy with it. It's the NCAA tournament. This is why we can't have nice things. Exactly. Because when we do get nice things, you treat it like this. It's the NCAA tournament. It was 12 hours on back-to-back days of basketball, of seeing
young men that you never heard of before battle it out, trying to get themselves, notoriety and to play into the week. It was. I'm sorry. Look, would I have rather watched upset after upset? Yes, of course. But let's play the alternative. The alternative is you were at a regular job on Friday and you did not have basketball on your office computer, and there was no buzz in the office around the water cooler about this team or that team and how far did you take your bracket. It was just another Monday, Thursday, Friday for you. Come on.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Easy perspective.
Just, be happy with what we got, folks. We have some very, very high level basketball coming up. We talked about how bad the NCAA tournament is at deciding the actual champion because it's such a insane format.
You look good today.
Did that just sound good? Put it on there.
Your microphone's obviously plugged in here. Your microphone's plugged in, so everybody heard you. But now you can see Mason Woods' beautiful face. I just clicked it. I didn't even realize you weren't on this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But we talk about how bad of a method it is for actually deciding your best champion. But most of the best teams are still in it. By the way of the regular season, so we're probably going to get a pretty good solidified champion at this point. What more do you folks want? The people that are angry with Thursday, Friday, angry with watching, like you said, 24 hours of basketball in 2 days. What more do you want?
A 15 seed won 3 years in a row from 2021 to 2023. Very, unlikely. A 16 seed won won 3 years ago, 2 years ago, right? A 14 and a 13 won last year. My man Blake Byler points out on the Twitter machine, the entire Ken Pom top 10 has a net rating that would make them a top 5 team last year. Okay, keep going. The entire Ken Pom top 10 has a net rating that would make them a top 2 team in 2023. The entire Ken Pom top 10 has a net rating that would put them in the top 2 in 2022. So, okay, this math here, these are numbers. I know you're driving in your car and you're like, I can't compute what these means. What this means is the entire top 10 of Ken Pom. Let's go to number 10. 10 in Ken Pom is the Iowa State Cyclones. The Iowa State Cyclones, their net rating this current season, if you take that team into last year, they'd be a top 5 team, just comparatively to the rest of the teams. You take them into 2023 and in 2022, they would not be a top 5 team. They would be a top 2 team. This is how ridiculous the top 10 is right now. This is how absolutely insane the top 10 is. So, yeah, we didn't get our upsets yesterday, but the big boys are bigger than they ever been.
We talked about NIL, transfer portal, and things, and how it will, how it's kind of sort of evening out the talent pool, but it's really only evening out the talent pool amongst the big boy players in the game. I feel like this is a prime example of that, where sure, all the big players have all these great players and talented athletes and things, but your mid majors and your other smaller schools in the conference, your Mississippi State and the like, they get left in the dust. Unfortunately, it's just kind of the way it is. Meanwhile, we have 10 teams at the top instead of just 2 teams at the top that are really, really amazing.
All right, so I don't really care about the quality of the first round or not. I enjoyed it for myself. If you did not enjoy it for yourself, I'm sorry. Come
in the studio and fight.
You'll lose. Mason's a big old boy. Yeah, Mason will put you right through our coffee table, I imagine. We got the cameras. We'll spread the cameras out. You and Mason can fight. Woo! Yeah! So Alabama yesterday. The word that's in my head is sleepwalked. How do you define? What's your reaction to a 90-81 victory over Robert Morris?
That's a pretty good assessment of the day. It just looked like, and I think you maybe even tweeted it out right as the game kind of was, it started to look like, this is not, Alabama's not just going to run away with this. It just looked like Robert Morris wanted it. Like they just, Alabama did not respect their opponent in this game at all. I don't think. I believe they really just came into this game thinking, oh, the name on our jersey is going to carry us to a victory, and that was not the case. You very quickly had to reach into the Grant Nelson's bag, and now look, he looked perfectly healthy to me. I don't think there's anything wrong with him really. But you had to get him and Darian Reed both on the court, and Darian gave you 10 minutes, gave you 9 points in 10 minutes. That's pretty good. I don't know. Did we even see him in the second half?
Yeah, he played a couple times in the second half. Let me pull him up, and I'll be able to give you his little log. There we are. Reed 9. He ended up 6 minutes in the second half. Okay. 4 in the first, 6 in the second. 4 points in the first half, 5 in the second. Ends up with 3 rebounds in the first, 1 in the second. No turnovers the whole game, no steals the whole game, no assists, no blocks. His efficiency is plus 12 for his entire minutes.
I mean, he was good on the court when he was out there. I still would like to see a little more of him if we can. I don't know if this goes back to our conversation from yesterday. I don't know if this is him being a little bit of diva or it's just him nagging his hamstring injury nagging him. But yeah, this team just did not show up yesterday. And it was like they all stayed in their hotel room and sent their clones out there. That they very quickly gave a rundown. I'm like, hey, here's how basketball is played. You'll figure it out once you get there. It was just, I don't know. They looked shit. It was crazy. Robert Morris, they played very physically and took it to Alabama. And I mean, won that game probably, unless Grant Nelson steps in and saves the day.
Wyatt Fulton. Oh gosh, that coffee just went down the wrong way. Wyatt Fulton must be watching. Not only did he comment on our Twitter, but he jumps in. Anybody in the top 10 this year would be considered all-time good any other year. I think that aspect is lost on the average ball watcher. The folks who have, hey, I'm turning on the tournament I'm turning on college basketball. Hey, first round of the tournament, great. I filled out my bracket this year, just like every other year, and I'm just here for the dance. I'm just here for the fun. And I don't think that they realize. So this top 10 is all the 1 seeds, all the 2 seeds, and 2 of the 3 seeds. Okay, so that's ridiculous. And we're sitting here asking one of them to lose. I think I need to be waiting a little bit. Yeah. I think there's a reason why we might see St. John's and Iowa State late. Goodness gracious, this Elite Eight, if they all make it.
Man.
All right, so Alabama yesterday. We're still on Alabama. I have sleptwalked. Just irritated in general because that's what stuck out to me. The entire thing is: do you respect winning? And all year long, I felt like I don't know that this team really does. Now, okay, goodness gracious, the March flu is hitting me. The March Madness is hitting me. You work into the early part of the game, and this drove me a little nuts to go away from it. You're hitting the middle screen, the high ball screen, go screen roll from Cliff Amore, and it becomes just an automatic lob dunk. Cliff Amore, after the Florida loss, basically says, "Oh, I didn't play very tough. I can play much better," and just goes on and go. But his much better is 8 for 8, 17 points, 4 rebounds, right there, 2 blocks, 3 steals. He was getting after it. Okay, yeah, So you can say that louder because the rebounds were a bleeping problem, a massive problem.
11, 250? Golly, man, come on!
I can play much better. I can play much tougher.
Can you play much tougher, Cliff?
Show me. You let them. How many offensive rebounds do these jokers get? 16. Yeah. 16 to the team's 5. The team's 5. And look. If you ain't gonna get the offensive rebound, that's fine. I'm not gonna really cry about that. But I am going to lose my ever-loving mind if you let them get the offensive rebound. It's fine. You get your shot up. You don't get a second chance. Whatever. Go back down the floor and defend your butt up. But when the shot goes, the defensive possession is not over. It's not over until the ball is in your hands. And so, the offensive rebound, it is an affront to all of the effort you've already given. That is what makes me so upset. Is because look, whatever the reason is, whatever the root cause is, this team is a questionable defensive team, period. Can they be very good? Yes. We have seen them be an elite defensive team in stretches of possession. And it's made me think, wow, okay, we're getting through to these guys and they're really getting it. But not 5 minutes later, they'll go into bozo mode and just let you cakewalk to the basket for layups and offensive rebounds, and it's ridiculous. So at this point, we're in March. The conclusion is in. You are a questionable defensive team, period. I know your defensive rating is like 30-something, 28. Maybe Mason can see that on Kim Palm right there. So it's not horrible. It's not like it was last year. It is 34. So it's not anywhere close to last year. Last year, 100, 105. Awful. But 34 is still, you get a question mark. So, okay. It's fine. We can accept it. We know where we are. We know who we are. If you're a questionable defensive team and you have now forced a missed shot, okay, great. You have your defensive stop. Great job. Good job. Thumbs up, everybody. The shot has gone up. It's an errant shot. It's gone off the back iron. Everybody wins. You cannot go right back on 25 seconds of defense.
It erases everything you just did.
Oh.
Any bit of momentum you gained, any bit of mental edge you gathered over the other team by stopping them, everything. All off the board. And in fact, it's more momentum for this team.
Right. You stack up the challenge, the hurdle. Just you're in the middle of jumping over the hurdle, smack into a wall. Here's another hurdle. You're back on defense. No, you have to box them out and get the deadgum rebound.
It's just like it's so many times, like ball goes off back iron and it's just
find a body. Oh my God! And Aiden Sherrill. Aiden is a big time ball watcher. Yeah. You're going to be a good player. You are going to be a good player. I believe in you, but you got a big old ball watcher. You got a high school tendency to watch that ball go up and be, I'll be athletic enough to just go find a body in a different color uniform, and stick that big old hip right into that hip.
Yeah, they have to find a way to get through to the bigs on this team. That every time a shot goes up, you have to get a body on a body, and you have to keep someone in a different color, wearing a different color than you, away from the hoop.
Because that's what's going to doom this team. People talk about turnovers. You can talk about, going cold from the 3-point line. Okay, you can talk about those things. What's going to actually doom this team is giving up offensive. Like, you're already a questionable defensive team, and you're going to give the other team another chunk of possessions. 16 more possessions yesterday for Robert Morris. Look at I have 16 more possessions. They took 20 more shots than Alabama yesterday. 20.
You should have lost this game.
58. Alabama gets 58 field goals. You get 58 shot attempts to Robert Morris's 78 shot attempts. And you're like, you can talk about team quality. You can talk about this team's better than that team. If you give the Northridge Middle School team 20 more shots than the Northridge High School team is, that game's going to probably look close.
Sure.
Like, this is not – why did Alabama lose to Ole Miss? You turned the ball over 20 times, and they got 20 more shots, and they beat you at home.
The recipe's right there for you, folks. Your formula to win is right there in front of you, Alabama. We have seen it. You put it together, like you said, for stretches. You put it together in that arena in stretches.
Yes.
You put it together against Kentucky in stretches in those games. You put it together against other teams.
This team has been an elite offensive rebounding team, an elite rebounding team at times. That's what made me so, like, that was the element to me that made me think, you guys aren't trying. And like, I'd never want to say that, because that's not that is a dumb take to me. I think that pretty much every college athlete and every professional athlete is trying out there. You got personal pride on the line. You want to win.
But there is that extra gear that maybe this team lacks at times.
So I'm getting stuck here, Mason, on the last 2 weeks of the season, hearing the lie. We got to be the toughest, hardest playing team. We got to be the toughest, hardest playing team. We got to be the toughest, hardest playing team over and over and over. And while, yes, that makes me say, yeah, of course, you got to be tough, play hard, give me effort. I'm wondering if there's something schematic happening that no one has an answer for. And so thus the answer is just try harder.
I would hope not.
Right. You tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Part of me still is wondering if it is just an aspect of, like, this team just has to feel a little pressure before they turn it on at all.
Well, do you not feel like one and done pressure? Or we'll lose and go home.
We got to get into a game. We've got to go down by 3 or 4, and then it's like, let's turn up a little bit, okay? Because we've seen it so much from them this year, where it's you're playing good, everything's going good, whatever. You get punched in the mouth, you're playing fine, but there's some issues there, some very evident problems, and you get punched in the mouth. Missouri did it, Florida did it, and then you come back and it's like, all right, we're fine. But I don't know, man. It's still a team that went to the Final Four this year.
Right.
They know how to get there. They know what tournament's like. Many of them have experience being here. So maybe that is an aspect. You came into the first round and you all just kind of thought, no, we'll be fine. And then you actually had to get punched in the mouth a little bit to turn it on. I don't know. If that is the level of effort that you'll get from this team in round 2 and so
St. Mary's will beat your ass.
I don't think you get out of St. Mary's. You don't get past
St.
St. Mary's.
Mary's will end up putting the anaconda vice on you and just slowing the game down. And it's just going to slowly creep from a 1-point lead for a couple minutes to a 3-point lead for a couple minutes to a 5-point lead and it'll just keep stretching out. And that 12 will feel like 20. Oh, that is not the way I want to go out this year. That's not the way I want to die. Like,
give me
give me 105 to 102. Die. If we die, we die. Just unload the clip. Don't put me in a phone booth and just choke me out. That's what St. Mary's is going to try to do on Sunday.
Actually, before we started recording, someone posted a video of Muhammad Diabate after the game yesterday.
Mo D.
Mo, I love you. And they asked him about Robert Morris, obviously. And he was, they were talking some trash, and he said, they said it said everybody wanted to see this matchup. So we gave them what they wanted. Don't say that. Don't say that. If you beat them by 25, then you can say that.
Florida can say that.
They almost waxed you. Do not say things like that. I love you, Mo, but keep your mouth shut. You should have lost this game.
Florida did what I wanted to see yesterday from Alabama. Florida says
53 points in the first half.
Yes. I got a buddy, and all my buddies do not believe in Florida because I have said that Florida is the best team. They're all waiting for Florida to fall just so they can, which is fine. But they're in the middle of they're like 13 minutes in, and somebody goes, "Ooh, Florida looks good," and I tweeted breaking news, and then they're playing a 16 seed. I go, buddy, they've scored 40 points in 12 minutes. Like, I don't care who they're playing; they are lighting up the scoreboard, and then they were up double digits in the first minute and a half, and okay, this is a team. This is what it looks like to respect winning. This is what it looks like to respect the damn game. And I'm sorry, Alabama, you just haven't looked like it this year. Florida says, oh, we don't care who you are, Norfolk State. This is our tournament. We're about to set the tone. And they wiped them off the floor in a matter of minutes.
It does not matter who is on that court with Florida. They are doing their thing.
Right. And that's the difference right now between the programs. Oh, okay, so before we transition into a break or into a commercial break, let's hit Grant Nelson. Grant, Alabama's down. Alabama's down what? Right here. Let me click Grant Nelson to get your timestamp, sir. Nelson gets subbed in at 8:47 left in the second half, and at that point, Alabama is up by 4. Alabama's up by 4, 62-58 at that point. And we heard before the game, Nate said, available, don't want to go there. Don't want to feel we could have to. the dynamic on the sidelines, Grant, okay, according to Nate, so, okay, do you believe this or not? According to Nate, Grant leans over and says, hey, put me in. I'm ready. Put me in. And that was the discussion. And so Nate says, okay, thumbs up, and throws him in.
Big time plays, not big time plays.
Question and the narrative or the discussion where I want to lead you is, does it matter if Grant says put me in or if Nate says break glass in case of emergency, hit the red button, we got to bring him in? Does it matter which is which? What happened?
I think so.
Okay.
You won the game at the end of the day.
Because
you're going on to the second round of the
Because
tournament.
to me, the narratives are different. Continue. I'll go ahead.
Sure, I mean, narrative-wise, yes, but I don't think it really matters that much.
Okay.
But you still won, I mean, from our perspective, from talking about this team, writing about this team, covering this team, sure, if the story is Alabama had to dig deep back and break the emergency, like you said, break glass in case of emergency because they were going to lose to Robert. That's a story.
That's a bad one.
Yes, that's a bad look. But
Nate Oates feels pressure on sidelines.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, Grant Nelson,
conquering hero. Conquering hero.
There's your story as well.
I am the nuke.
I think for the team, they're not reading any of it anyway. I don't think that matters for them.
Yeah, you don't think there's any sort of element of, hey, coach thought we couldn't get it done without Grant. Coach had to put him in. Or it was, hey, man, Grant thought we were in trouble. He came to save us.
I mean, either way, the team realizes, hey, we suck.
Grant, save us!
You get to the same conclusion, I think, with either of those.
Help!
We played bad. Grant had to save us. Or, man, we were so bad, coach didn't think we could do it. Either way.
Help us! Grant!
I look self-aware.
Yeah, so he looked fine.
Look, I had the same gripe with Grant that I had with Cliff. What, Grant, 3 rebounds in this game or something?
3 rebounds in 7 minutes.
Come on, Grant. Come on. 1
offensive board. Like that's the biggest. That's the most offensive part of the game. You let Folgueras get 10 rebounds. I don't care. Like, okay, you get 5 defensive rebounds. That happened. 5 offensive rebounds for this joker. Like, go find him when the shot gets up.
There's just no one around him. He just flying. Oh, there's another board.
Dickerson with 6 offensive rebounds. I mean, just
they were really hamming up that this kid grew up here in the projects of Cleveland. I heard that line.
Cleveland rocks.
The announcer so many times during that game. I hated that he fouled out for his sake. That's tough. March brings out the emotions in a lot of these players. I hated it for him seeing him cry on the sideline. It looked to be at least, but hey.
It's either there.
Transfer,
right. It's either your tears or our tears, and we want you to be the crying. All right, so let's tell them about where we are. We're here on a Saturday live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. You can find us right off of McFarland Boulevard, just past the Tiger Rock, the Rustic Rehab on the left. Derek Daniel and his team would be happy to talk to you. They're not here today. They're taking Saturday off. They are doing stuff with their families. They will be here on Monday. Would love to take your calls. But Derek is always on. If you're one of his clients and you got issues on a weekend, he'll be happy to help you. He'll be having to clock in and help you with your issues on the weekend because that's what kind of insurance agent he is. You want a local insurance agent and one who will jump in and clock in on the weekends, and Derek is that guy. Call him at 205-758-3391 for all your insurance needs. Oh, Mason, are you a Girl Scout cookie guy?
Big time. Look at me.
Yeah, allegedly, reportedly, upstairs, if you go and let Derek Daniel quote you an auto insurance quote, you will be walking away with a box of Girl Scout cookies.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, so if you like Girl Scout cookies and you don't know how to order them or you don't want to buy them, you can come over to the Derek Daniel State Farm office right here off of McFarland Boulevard. Let him give you an auto insurance quote. It'll take you about 15 minutes to write you up. Oh, my 2000-something, Saturn something, Mercedes something. Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it'll be about 15 minutes. They'll say, oh, here's the new insurance. Do you like this price? We'll save you some money with this price and give you better coverage with this price. And you'll have somebody local to call with this price. And how about a box of Girl Scout cookies?
Pretty dang good.
All you got to do, come out and see Derek Daniel today. 205-758-3391. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. All right, Mason Woods, you want to talk about St. Mary's? The Gales. What do you think about those jokers yesterday? They
kind of sat on a secondary screen, to be honest, while I was doing some other things, so I wasn't super locked into it. I more did a little box score watching of that game, so I'm gonna need the rundown on that. They got a little size, I know that.
Well, yeah. So ends up I'm on the Vanderbilt assignment yesterday. Vandy's boys and Vandy's girls both eliminated in the same day. So those were two loser gamers to write. Vanderbilt basketball loses to you're up by 12, Vandy.
Oh.
You're up 12 with 15 minutes to play, 16 minutes to play, and basically St. Mary's dog walks you down the second half. Dog closed the gap, dog walked them, and then role reversal took the lead on them. Vandy, same issue as all year long. Depth issue, depth, rebounding, foul trouble late. Like it's just
they got rebounded by 13.
Yes, it just is what it is for Vanderbilt. Like great, honestly.
You want to be able to keep Alex Byington around?
1,000%. No, he's staying. He's staying. They said, I think they said a $4 million NIL package.
Fantastic.
They said, hey, buddy.
Keep him around because they got a good one there.
Yeah. He comes from JMU. He brings half his JMU guys over and just works. Like they had no one on the roster.
He just did like the Kurt Signetti thing.
Exactly.
He did the same thing, but in basketball. It worked out for him.
To an extent, I mean, they got to the first tournament in 7 years.
Pretty dang good. I mean, we've talked a pretty decent amount about Vanderbilt this year because obviously Alabama played them, and then covering them, we kind of got into it. This is a team that throughout the entire season has not had a player taller than 6'8"?
Yeah, 6'8", 6'9", yeah.
To even get into the tournament in the SEC, nonetheless, very, very impressive.
I think they had a good year. Just heartbreaking way to end the year because they have lost second half leads throughout the year multiple times against ranked teams. They were up on a handful of different teams this year and lost. They were up on Tennessee over there and lost. They beat Tennessee in Nashville. Anyways, yeah, they beat Kentucky, but then they got their doors blown off by Kentucky up in Lexington.
Up and down here for the doors. I think let them hit that transfer portal a little bit. Maybe they'll be a different team next year.
All right. So Augustus Marcelonius, the two-time West Coast Player of the Year. Augustus. He's going to be your big kind of got to watch out for Augustus Marcelonius and Jordan Ross making some threes. They made 7 of 25 from the three-point line, so really not that great of a three-point shooting team yesterday. They get to the free throw line, only 12 free throws. NCAA tournament being officiated quite differently than the regular season as far as fouls.
Yeah. So, I mean, even in that Alabama Robert Morris game, they were letting play.
Dude, the officiating in that game was horrible.
Crazy.
It was not good. It was like, we're going to call it really – yeah, we're going to call it really tight 1 second, and then we'll let you all just battle royale the next.
Yeah, that was wild. Oh, man.
I think this is absolutely a game that Alabama can lose.
I'd like to hear that, but you are correct.
St. Mary's, they're now up to, I believe, they're up to 7 in defensive efficiency. Yeah, they're now up to 7 in defensive efficiency. Slow down, Joe, just a second. They are down to, they were at 359. They slowed it down even more. They're at 360 in pace. This is going to be like Alabama running full speed into a brick wall. And it's like,
the boa constrictor.
Coach, just.
How do you? What is your game plan going? If you were drawing up a plan to go against this very, very slow, methodical team, is it just we're gonna get them in like the half court press, basically enforce the issue and go play aggressively on defense?
No, I'm not. If my middle school, high school coaching,
I don't know how you.
What I do is I throw drop coverage in the trash, and I say, boys, Go hedge the screen. They're not as good as athletes as you are. They're good athletes. They are.
They're not on the same level.
Right. So go hedge the screen and make every pass, make every dribble, make every drive. You want to wait. You want to wait. Run the shot clock down. You want to, then that shot you get at the end of the shot clock is going to be horrible, and you better make it. And
do what St. John's does.
Yeah, I think it's a commitment on the defensive end because they're going to slow you down. They're going to dribble it out offensively, just stand there, try to be really deliberate. That's fine. Meet their precision and their intentionality with grit, with go into the dadgum pain cave and say we will be here all 30 seconds of the shot clock, and and then even yesterday you didn't even run for anything. You had what, 4 fast break points against them? Ended up 9. It was 4 when I looked in the middle of the game. Ended up 9 fast break points. What you've got to do is every time you get a chance to actually run, you run and you go to the basket. I don't really want to we know the kick out corner 3 on the run. Dude, hammer that bleep home. Please just go right to their face and say, we'll go to the foul line and take our, even if you're 1 of 2, that will drive me crazy, but go to the foul line. Because when you get out on the break, you're not going to get many of them. You're going to have to score. Go to the dead bat. So to me, it's embrace defense and get to the hole as quickly as possible. To me, it's you go back to the screen and roll, the screen and roll action with Cliff Amore, the screen and roll action with Grant Nelson, because I think you're looking for that lob again. The lob was there all day against Robert Morris. Let's see, St. Mary's, your roster. You got any tall jokers? You got Harry Wessels is a junior. Harry Wessels and Andrew McKeever are both 7'1". Andrew McKeever is a freshman. Harry Wessels, a junior from Boddington, Australia. Michael Saxon, he's the fellow who played a lot yesterday on the interior at 6'10", but got himself into a little bit of foul trouble. Oliver Faubert is 6'9", and then here we go. The rest of these guys 6'8", 6'8", 6'6". So they got a little bit. To me, it's putting this Saxon kid into a little bit of trouble. That would be what I would do.
Yeah.
You got any amendments or changes? What would you do?
That seems like a fine plan. I think it's just going to come down to kind of like you said at first, is just can this team find that extra level of toughness, extra level of grit, extra level of whatever you want to call it, to just man up and play tough basketball, because right now they play very soft basketball.
It's going to be really demoralizing to sit there in a defensive stance for it's 35 seconds, right? It's 24 in the NBA. For 33 seconds. And then give up a layup.
Yeah, I don't think it's an X's and O's thing. I think it's an effort and a toughness thing, because we've seen, like we said, we see stretches where everything's going perfect. You look like the best team in the country. But when you don't do your job, that is when things start to fall apart. Do your job.
Bill Belichick. Yep. All right, so no games for Alabama today. This game against St. Mary's, where's my timesheet? Right there. Is going to be at 5:10 on Sunday. So go to church, have your Sunday lunch, and then at 5:10, perfect time. That means it's going to be over by the time you want to go to early Sunday bed so you can get up for Monday work. That's perfect. 5:10 will be broadcast on TNT. Spiros Didi, Jim Spanarkel, and John Rothstein on the call.
I like Rothstein. He's pretty good.
You taking Alabama to win?
Yeah, we've seen them bounce back often and respond fairly well before. So
roll tide. What are you thinking here?
And I was thinking obviously they didn't lose, but back.
It sure seemed like they lost based on everybody's reaction on the social medias. It was even at halftime when Alabama was up, I was thinking to myself, why are y'all? I mean, yes, it wasn't great, but it was like they're down 20. Yeah, it was like they're down 20. It's like, okay. It was dramatic because, we don't want to be the one to 15 seed, but it's like, hold on, just chill. It's gonna be fine. I had somebody text me, Joe, if we lose this game, I said, I think it's gonna work out fine. Just give it a little more time. And then when they took that lead, I was like, I did not text my friend back at that time, but I was thinking to myself, oh god,
It's just me, you sitting up in the chair a little bit, oh man.
Don't embarrass us. Come on, Grant. Grant, save us.
I think it's save me, Grant Nelson. It's just gonna be this team has to find another next layer of toughness, that next level of toughness. And they, like we said, we've seen it. They just got to dig deep and get it back out.
5.5-point favorites on Sunday. Ooh, I'm taking St. Mary's plus the 5.5, but I'm taking Alabama to win by 3.
I think they're gonna play good. I think they gonna get after the boys.
Well, I hope you're right, because I'm thinking like 75. Yeah, where's my St. Mary's? What are they averaging? I'm thinking like, yeah, definitely. I'm thinking like 70. I'm thinking like 75, 72. Alabama. Gross.
I'll give a little bit more. I'll go like 82, 75.
82-74. All right, so we won't be here till Monday. So let's just look at these 2 days real quick. There's 16 games left. There's 16 games to talk about, right? Yeah, there's 16. Where's my dang sheet? NCAA bracket right there. Boom. All right, here we go. This is not in order. This is in bracket order. So we're reading from top left all the way to bottom right. Auburn and Creighton today at 6:10 on TBS. Oh, you also got Michigan and Texas A&M 4:15 on CBS. That one's tomorrow. That one's tomorrow. That one's tomorrow. That one's tomorrow. Drake and Texas Tech at 5:10 on the TNT. Arkansas and St. John's at 1:40. St. John's Red Storm. That is one. Oh my gosh! Yes, yes.
They're gonna fight each other in midcourt.
Patino in a white suit, Cal in a red suit.
Tino's gonna bite his neck, suck his blood out.
Hey, we'll suck your blood. UCLA and Tennessee at 8:40 on TBS. That one's tomorrow. McNeese and Purdue is your first game of the day. 11:10 on the CBS. Gonna get started here in just a little bit. Houston Gonzaga. I mean, that is a Sweet 16 game they're giving you right here. Houston Gonzaga 7:40 on TNT. Alabama's tomorrow. BYU. All right, you want to get ready for your opponent. You want to get ready for Alabama's hopeful next opponent, BYU and Wisconsin at 6:45 on CBS. That one's tomorrow, and Duke is tomorrow. All right, so for Sunday. Duke and Baylor 1:40, Oregon, Arizona at 8:40. Alabama, St. Mary's 5:10. You've got, keep on going, Illinois, Kentucky at 4:15. Thank you, Kentucky, for not embarrassing me yesterday after I flip-flopped on y'all. Here we go. Colorado State, Maryland at 6:10. The Crab 5. You want to talk about another dominating win? Oh, my gosh. They embarrassed my pick. I said, Grand Canyon. They gave Alabama a good run. I'm going to pick them. They said, no, we do not care about your online university. They destroyed.
I don't remember what the exact statistic was, but the Crab 5 scores like 95% of the points for that team. The bench only scores like maybe 8 or 10 points a game.
Well, they absolutely destroyed Grand Canyon yesterday. It says 81-49, and I guess you're thinking, 31, 32 points, but they were up by like a million in the first half. They just kind of cruised. Florida and UConn, Florida, UConn, 11-10. So
it's just going to be like, premium coach versus we're the best team in basketball, basically. I mean, Taco's a good coach, but he's not on Dan Hurley's level.
So we're all leaving church early on Sunday. We're going to early church Sunday, 8 a.m. so we can get home for 11 o'clock. Florida, UConn, continuing New Mexico, Michigan State at 7:40. Ole Miss, Iowa State. Iowa State also making me look good, taking down Lipscomb. Thank you. They are my Final Four team out of this little pod. Iowa State and Ole Miss at 6:45. So that just means that Malik Dia will break my heart and eliminate them. And there you go.
Good weekend. Good weekend ahead.
Alabama advances. Gun to your head, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. What's the other kind of game? Arkansas, St. John.
St. John, I think is going to beat them handily.
Yes.
And it's going to be embarrassing for Coach Cal. And that's going to be nice for me.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else you got for us as we get out of here?
No, that's all I got today.
Oh, my gosh. We said 30 minutes, and it's now 50 on a Saturday. So we appreciate everybody who's listening to us, who watched us on the YouTubes, on the Facebook, who checked us out on your favorite Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon. We really appreciate Warren Tire and Auto for sponsoring the program. They've been a Tuscaloosa and University of Alabama staple since 1961. Russ Warren is carrying on the third generation of family ownership. They're the go-to place for all your automotive needs in West Alabama. They've got 2 great locations to get you in and out, all about efficiency. If you've got tire issues, tires, brakes, and alignment, you can see them on 15th Street at 205-759-5505, or all your other automotive needs. Check them out on University Boulevard at 205-758-2739. We appreciate Warren Tire and Auto for sponsoring the program. We appreciate you for sharing the show with a friend, having a lot of fun with us on the social media machines at Joe Gaither 6, at MA Woods, at BamaCentral. We'll see you on Monday, win, lose, or draw, right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com.